Hello and welcome to this very green background. What's happened here? Let's just figure this one out. Did I turn this off? I did. What an idiot. And we've got some interesting things happening in the background. Not sure why the green screen's gone crazy. I'm going to try and fix that. It is a morning, afternoon. What the hell time am I in? For those of you who don't know, I'm no longer in Tokyo. I moved through to Japan. I moved through to Japan. I'm no longer in Tokyo. I have now moved through to the USA, which is where the show is coming to you live from. Let's just get rid of all that background noise. I don't know where that's coming from. So just bear with me for a moment. I was even watching the wrong stream just to check what was going on there. It was just absolute chaos. Now that's even worse. Okay, well this is fun. Let's try and figure this out live. Give me a second here. Wouldn't be a great GM show if it wasn't disastrous, right? That's how it works. Okay, let's just do this quickly. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. I know exactly what went wrong. Okay, this will make a big difference automatically. I apologize. Give me a second here, guys. All right, so we've got an interesting show for you today. There we go. You see, I told you I would fix it. It just took a little bit longer than normal. Now, we have a very interesting show for you today. Why is it an interesting show today? Because there is the real risk that my players are going to die. Well, not the players, the characters. But there is a real risk, and that is not a risk that I am willing to even think about. It scares me when I think that this might happen. Their rolling last week was what caused the predominant amount of death. We've got one character who's got 2 failed death saves. Someone's asking, didn't I work in television? Yes, but that was a long time ago when we basically put the pictures onto pigeons and flew them out so you could watch what was going on. Yeah, we thought we'd set it up. We really thought that we had set it up. I'm blaming the fact that yesterday's stream went absolutely fine. Today's stream, of course, is not going to happen. Why? Because we're on Dungeons and Dragons, and that's just the way that it is. So you're just going to have to bear with it. I think that's okay. Right, let's get on with this. Let's stop with all of that. Good old days of telepigeon. I like that, Dawnseeker. Absolutely. Yeah, Fire Breath. Indigo's on the verge of death. She's failed 2 death saves. 1 left to go. And it's a thing. It is a thing. Figuring things live. We are doing it live. Feels amazing, says Icicle Gamer, I suppose. Gam Lucy G, I'm so looking forward to this week's session. I really am looking forward to it myself. There's a lot of things that are going on, and today I'm going to be talking a little about, well, you're here, and remember, if you are watching behind the screen, it means that you are aware that there are spoilers incoming. If you don't want spoilers for today's show, I beg you, I urge you, leave, go and get your coffee, go settle down somewhere. Just relax until whatever it is, on the hour and 23 minutes, and then come back for the show, because there are some big spoilers in this one, and we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people are going to find offensive. A lot of people are going to be sitting there going, no, what is going on? What is happening? So that is something definitely to bear in mind, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, I know that our usual moderator, Adamiral, isn't in chat just yet. They've got some pretty cool stuff happening elsewhere with another really cool YouTuber, D&D personality, Satine Phoenix, I believe, is doing something cool recently. So anyway, he is here. Adamiral is here. He's here. Yay! And as White Tiger 225 says, yes, Indigo flicked up. As a matter of fact, it wasn't Indigo who caused the dire situation that they're in. It was Flick. Flick caused it all on his own. He's a happy little dice. So, what we're going to be talking about today, and like I said, some of you guys are not going to be too happy about this. I can see the text. We've kind of got it sitting just off of the side there. So please, if you have questions, if you have comments, just jot them down there. I'm happy to go through them. We're going to be talking about what to do if there is a TPK. What do I do as a game master, but also as someone who's producing a show for you guys to watch? We've only got 6, well, this is the 6th episode, so there's 7 episodes in hand to play through. What if Indigo dies? Now, under normal circumstances, her character would die, and you'd go, sure, that's what's happened, sorry, move on. But in this case, in order for her to die, it means that in the 7th episode, I would then be bringing in somebody who is completely new to the party. There could be some major disruption. At the same time, Victor Salt is currently involved in a battle on their own with Sanballat, who is a rather ruthless magician. And if the rolls continue like they were last week, where everyone is rolling less than 10, things could go really, really wrong. Flick has only got 1 hit point. So we've basically got Lahuna and Jagsy on their feet. If things continue to go south, what are we going to do? So one of the things that I talk about on my channel is plot armor and how to use plot armor and how to make sure that it doesn't just come across as hand waving, oh, you're all fine. Because we don't want that. We want it to feel as if there was some kind of opportunity for the players to impact the story and that the GM isn't protecting them from stupid. Or in this case, just protecting them from bad combat rolls. So what we're going to be doing is we've seeded that the lizard folk are here in the haunted mansion. They were doing something. We know that the bandits were busy mucking around with the lizard folk, but we're not entirely sure about that relationship, and Salt didn't discover that relationship either. Now, that allows me to then use the lizard folk. Now, my original intention for including the lizard folk was simply because I wanted the lizard folk to be brought forward into the minds of the players, because the second mission that they're supposed to be in already, which is Danger at Dunwater Bay, I needed to get them into that faster. Well, now I have an even better opportunity. If the party suffers a TPK, or if too many of the characters start dying, and there doesn't seem to be any hope for them to survive. So, worst case scenario, Victor Salt goes down. Sanballat is not going to just go, oh, look, I've knocked him down. Ha 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 ha. Now I'm going to let him recover. That's exactly the opposite of what Sanballat would do. Sanballat would cut Victor's throat, throw them into the ocean, and say, it was the hobgoblins who killed Salt. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. So that's something to bear in mind. We're gonna use the lizard folk as a get out of jail free card. Now, is that plot armor? I don't necessarily think so, because it's been established that the lizard folk are there. And when we then discover why the lizard folk are there and what they're up to, it makes a lot more sense. Now, in the actual Ghosts of Saltmarsh story, in the adventure as written, the smugglers, Sanballat and company, are supposed to be smuggling weaponry to the lizard folk. And the weaponry is supplied by an unknown. We don't know where it's coming from. Well, in the book, it's Galen Primewater who's supplying all of these weapons. But the trail that the PCs are supposed to go on is that they're supposed to go from Saltmarsh, discover that the smugglers were smuggling weapons to the lizard folk, and then get to the lizard folk for adventure number 2. This way, if the lizard folk now react and come back in force and retake the mansion and save the PCs, they see these PCs lying there dying and that kind of thing. When they see that, if the lizard folk come in and save the party because they can see the party were fighting against the bandits, I'm going to twist it and say that that little magic item that Indigo has, that scapula that allows her to see things, is actually part of a bigger construct, an ancient weapon that was used against the Black Tide in the past, because we know the Black Tide cycles around every 100 years. So it's a weapon of some kind, and as a result, instead of the lizard folk being shipped weaponry, we've already established that the gnomish fire crystals have been delivered. The lizard folk are here because they were curious, they wanted to see what was going on, they stumbled into this smuggling operation, and now they have an opportunity to take all of the PCs back to the capital of the lizard folk, take them all the way back, get them recovered, give them their hit points back, and then we can continue with Danger at Dunwater Bay as a mission as it is written. Because it is quite a fun mission. It's got a very cool little mechanic in where it's a diplomatic mechanic. So the idea of Danger at Dunwater Bay is the PCs have to make friends with the lizard folk. That's the ultimate outcome. And every time they engage with lizard folk, they can either make a diplomatic success or a diplomatic failure. The ultimate goal at Danger at Dunwater Bay is not combat, it is to achieve 50 diplomatic points. Now, I'm not necessarily going to stick to that simply because I'm running out of time. I need to wrap up Danger at Dunwater Bay basically in this session and maybe half of next session, and we know that the players are not speedy. They're very cautious when it comes to exploring, but when it comes to combat, they're all in or all out. They don't move very quickly, and we only have 2 hours. We only have a 2-hour block. So that's not a lot of time to do stuff. Nonetheless, they are going to start engaging with diplomacy within Dunwater Bay. That's if they fail. If they, however, survive the combat with the giant spiders, and they survive the encounter with Sanballat, and they are all happy, good, and well, then that's fantastic. They can take over that mansion, they can claim it from Galen Primewater, and the lizard folk will arrive anyway, because I need them to get to the lizard folk queen in order to satisfy the second mission, Danger at Dunwater Bay. So far, does that make sense to everybody? I think it's pretty clear, and I don't think that it's going to come across too much as plot armor. Now, if you disagree with me and you say, you should leave it where the chips lie, if that's not how they're supposed to get to the lizard folk, then that's not how they should get to the lizard folk. For me, this is one of the things why when they asked me to run Ghosts of Saltmarsh, I initially said, well, you know, I don't like running modules or adventure paths because they oftentimes seem very rigid in terms of how to get from point A to point B. But when they said to me, you can run it how you like and you can use what adventures you like and ignore other adventures and stuff, I went, that is something that I find very exciting. So that's where we are. I don't see any questions coming through. Does anyone here play the Idle Champions free-to-play PC game? Well, if someone does, Matrix 8369 is looking for a partner, I think. Right, so, Germany is tuned in, fantastic. Hopefully we've got lots of people from Germany, we've got lots of people from Europe, I hope, watching this show. And if you are, give us a shout out, let us know that you are watching. Right, so moving forward then, the combat, this giant spider and the little spiders, it's going to play out how it's going to play out, and there's nothing that we can do about that. It is what it is, and we will see. Fantasy Grounds is going to run us through that combat. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be very, very, very on the line. And then from there, we're going to move forward. Now, the Galen Primewater story where Captain Salt was given the moral dilemma of blow up the ship or not, and possibly be executed as a result, or have her crew executed as a result, by giving them the gnomish fire crystals in the last episode, which is what I specifically did, it removed Galen's teeth, at least initially. So the pressure on Salt, it was increased to a 48-hour decision period, simply because it was to give them some opportunities. Then I decided that it was still too much pressure. They couldn't then go to Danger at Dunwater Bay. So now I've given them the gnomish fire crystals, so they can do with those what they like, provided that they survive. It's always an interesting decision to try and anticipate where the characters are going. And because we're running the game on fantasy grounds, where everything you need to kind of preload stuff. Now, Fantasy Grounds, to be absolutely fair, they have the Ghosts of Saltmarsh module where all of the maps are already loaded up with all of the encounters already pinned onto every single map. So there wouldn't be any prep time from me if I was running with the maps that came with the module. But because we decided to make our own maps, and I also always like to recreate any maps that are provided in a module anyway, because it gives you a little bit more familiarity with the space rather than sort of looking at a map going, okay, that's a cool map, and then just running it by having to recreate it. You oftentimes can go, okay, well, I did this, but I see that they've got a room there. I'm going to actually move it to this side. So as we did with the mansion, where we added an extra floor underneath, so we separated the cave system from the basement. We said, right, that's another level down. Just to give it a little bit more drama and a little bit more separation. We did that, and I think it works a lot better. Right, there are some questions coming through. I'm going to come to those very quickly. Austria is watching. Hello from South Africa. We miss you. Oh, Scarix, I miss you too. Tashio Calderi, South Africa. Fantastic. Nice to see you guys. Guten Abend, guys, says Gex Troll. Yeah, it's not yet evening here, thankfully, but we're getting there. All right, so let's do some of these questions quickly. Arkwriter says, for someone who hasn't had a peek into the Saltmarsh rules, what are the new rules for ship movement combat like? This is something that I really, really, really enjoyed about the Ghosts of Saltmarsh adventure book, was that they did bring in not new rules for ship combat. They had already been introduced by January of this year with one of the earlier supplements that they released. I forget the name of it now, but so ship combat was there. I think they've taken it to the next level in the Ghosts of Saltmarsh adventure book. And you will see ship combat coming up. I need their second chance to be repaired, because part of the plan is after Danger at Dunwater Bay, which is the lizard folk encounter, I then want them to go to sea, and that's then when we're going to have some sea battles. It's going to be quite fun, because I need them to do that before we go into the final confrontation with the undead Lich. Now, so those are some of the cool things. They also got wonderful little rule generators and for creating islands on the fly. You know, excuse me, is it a jungle island? Is it a desert island? Is it a haunted island? They've got underwater encounter tables. So it's packed with cool stuff. So if you are running if you're running an aquatic campaign, if you're running a pirate kind of campaign, I do think the Ghosts of Saltmarsh book is fantastic. Having said that, I'm also working on a supplement for the Ghosts of Saltmarsh adventure book, which takes what they've given us, and it takes it even further and adds in even more stuff, a lot more technical kind of stuff. So sometimes players ask, well, I have a ship, can I transport a ton of wheat? Okay, sure you can. The ships have got a weight limit of 100 tons or whatever it might be. How much do I charge to transport 100 tons of wheat? So all of those kinds of things on the supplement that I've done. So there you are. Right, next question is Bina UK says, are you looking forward to Fantasy Grounds Unity? Firstly, Fantasy Grounds as it stands, yes, there are some bugbears which I deplore, but I think those are legacy bugbears. So with Fantasy Grounds Unity coming out, hopefully at the end of the year, I think that could be a lot of fun. They're going to clean up a whole bunch of the old sort of stuff that is a real stickler for some people. But as it stands, I mean, I was prepping for this afternoon's or this evening's game, and I was like, okay, I need some caves, right? Okay, so Dungeon Fog, right? We're going to make some caves. Okay, cool. Bring them into Fantasy Grounds. Right, Fantasy Grounds, I need to put in some encounters. Great, open up some pre-generated encounters with lizard folk and the like, tweak them, drop them into place. And the whole thing was done in maybe an hour, including making the maps and things. So it really is a slick and easy way to run things. The big challenge that we have is going, okay, well, what maps do we need to make? Are the players, if they survive and they don't get plot armored off to the lizard folk territory, are they going to go back and blow up the first-rate ship? In which case we need the maps of the first-rate ship. Are they going to go and blow up Gellin Primewater's mansion? Well, we're okay there. I have his mansion. You know, where are they going to go? So when you have the power of Fantasy Grounds to be able to present maps to your players, when you suddenly don't have maps to present, it starts to go, well, actually you should have prepared. So again, that goes back to my philosophy of, if you've got some downtime, make some generic maps, make some buildings, make some towers, make some ruins, and then you can always just drop them in and access them. Next one is White Tiger 225. What if you're too late to stop the TPK? Like, there is literally no reason the lizard folk can stop the giant spider and stabilize the dying PC. Indigo is the problem. Because of 2 death saves, Indigo is definitely the problem. Flick is another problem with only 1 hit point. Things could go south very quickly, but remember, we have Lahuna the Paladin, who possibly has a lay on hands left. I'm not sure. I could check her character sheet, actually, but I don't think she does. So, I think she does. So she could certainly stabilize Lahuna straight away and get her back, Indigo straight away and get her back on her feet. Not a problem there. So I'm hoping that that's going to happen. Everywhere else I can, to a degree, control it, unless there's massive damage that's dealt, in which case then, yes, there will be some interesting ramifications for that. If we have to bring in a new character, we have to bring in the new character. We have rules for a reason, and I'm not just going to hand wave and say, well, it's done. There is one sneaky little thing that does come to mind, and this really would be, I feel, a lot of plot armor. So I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think. If Indigo dies, we have a giant necrotic wave of black energy washing over this building and down into the sea. She could, when she dies, rise up again as an undead. Now, the Lich, who's controlling this whole thing, Commodore Gankari, he rose up as an intelligent being with his memories intact. What if she came back as an undead? Now, obviously she would be evil because the tide resurrects and, you know, everyone's angry about dying and death and that sort of thing. What if there was a chance that she didn't become evil? She was just raised as this undead creature. Would it be 5%? So roll me a percentile die and see 5% or less, you rise as an intelligent undead and you have all of your memories. So then she wouldn't necessarily attack the party and she could continue to work with the party. Is that something that we would do? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Could look at it like that. Some of the suggestions, the scapula may have some kind of revivify. It could. Again, I feel like that. I'm not sure. What gives us the most interesting story options? And at the same time, sometimes it is a case of saying, I'm sorry, Auf Wiedersehen, it is time for you to go. Your character has died. So the ship has got a lot of crew on board that she could immediately start playing. We have hundreds of NPCs that were submitted to us on our website. That's www.greatgamemaster.com. You can go and submit NPCs there. So there are lots of options for her to come back. So think about that. Any more questions? There is a Discord. Why was I not? What is happening to my voice? There is a Discord, and that's, I see it's been posted up already. Discord.gg/greatgm. So you can go and join us there. Have a look at that. All right. Wouldn't she hate being undead though? She would be, absolutely. Which may be why she retains her independence and her ability to choose to continue working with her friends. It is only a temporary reprieve because we established that the black tide only lasts for 60 days and then it ends. So she would still die at the end, but I think it might be a solution. Pirate Knight 1, unless I'm skipping questions, which I hope I'm not, Pirate Knight 1 says, will we get the backstory of the Lich? I don't know. Are the characters going to investigate the backstory of the Lich? I tried to give them some of the stuff when they were encountering old Anders Solmore and the statue, but Flick wouldn't have any of it. He wanted to destroy the statue or whatever it was that he was doing. So, yeah, that didn't necessarily come through there. So it would be nice. It is written up on the World Anvil page. There's a page that we made on World Anvil. There is a write-up there about the first adventure where we talk about Gankari's background. And if you head on over to my YouTube channel, there is the first 3 sessions of me planning out this entire campaign. That's How to Be a Great GM on YouTube. I literally show you how I came up with the idea for Commodore Gankari and the like. So you can go and check that out if you want to. I see World Anvil is saying there. Satine says hi. Well, hi, Satine. I had so much fun when I met Satine in Los Angeles. I was on her live show, Maze Arcana. What a fun time. My character got sucked into a box of darkness for all eternity. I was quite happy about that, actually. He was a nasty piece of work. Right. Yeah, as you say, I see AK Writer or AK Writer is saying, yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean have that precedent where the undead seek to redeem themselves. Sometimes we could certainly go that route. Did you plan on there being any adverse effects if they drink the old healing potions? The old healing potions, I was going to give them a constitution saving throw to see if it healed them or if it killed them. Not anymore. Now it's going to heal them. They haven't tested it yet, so it's just going to heal them. Right, we've got just under a minute left. I see I'm being signed 1 minute left, so stop talking and get ready. I hope you're ready for tonight's session. Anything could happen. So here's fingers crossed that Fantasy Grounds is kind to the players. Yeah, we're going to catch you up after the show in Below the Decks. So have a look out for that. That's on the twitch.tv/GreatGM channel. That happens about 10 minutes after the show wraps up, where we talk with the cast and sort of get a bit of insight into what their characters decided to do and why. But until then, let's take it away. Let's go to the Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
We fought them in the air, on land, and under the waves. But it wasn't enough. Brave folk banded together, united in hope and allied in goal. But it wasn't enough. The black tide brought with it an evil of terrible power. Darkness sank into the hearts of us all. For we knew, as above in the skies we lost, so on land we'd lose. And our only hope was below. But it wasn't enough. Forces unknown to us were at work, and in those dark days it found purchase wherever it touched. For our best wasn't enough. Yet, a single light burns in the dark night, and it might be enough.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Everybody is accounted for, is here, is present. I'm glad to see you all looking fit and healthy and sexy. Definitely. Ooh. Let's start with Mark. Flick, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm very good. Flick is currently on 1 HP. And has been since the beginning of the last game, I think. So I'm feeling good about today's session. I think Flick is going to have a wonderful time. We're all going to be sunshine and roses, and he's going to find loads of treasure and be very happy.
It's good to have dreams. It's good to have dreams and goals and aspirations. It's good to have those. Cling on to those.
Yes, I'll try.
Yeah. Indigo, wie geht's?
Hello. Yeah. Hi. Myri here is Indigo, and Indigo right now is unconscious. It may be dying. So, Guy said I shouldn't create a new character just yet, but I'm not sure.
You have a paladin with you.
But she did lay on hands already today. We're out of heals, I think. So, let's see what happens with a big spider.
I'm not worried about the spider. I'm worried about Flick. But
what's Flick going to do to me?
Well, the problem is, what else is he going to do to you if you recall last time? Absolutely. The paladin without the heals?
Right. So, if you recall, I healed Flick. Then somebody got all knife throwy, and Lahuna's response was, "Hey, I just fixed that." That was my 5 hit points as a level 1 paladin. Did we rest before the haunted house? No, we did not. How many heals do I have? This many heals. These are the number of heals I have left.
Less heals than feet.
Right, exactly.
No?
Exactly.
That was a golden joke. Never mind. Fine, moving on. Whatever. Figure it out. Less heals than feet.
There was one punch you didn't get. I'm
very tired. I've had a long and amazing day.
That's fantastic.
I got to hang out with Satine and Tito Storm. It was awesome, but now I'm exhausted, so I have no filter anymore.
No pun power. Well, I'm
Who
sure...
knows what's going to happen?
I'm sure our audience can help us there. Michael, how is Australia?
Still on fire. No, it's good. I mean, honestly, we're doing better than the group is at the moment. So, I mean, there's that. No, I'm super keen. I'm super excited for today. I am, I think to myself sometimes, I build characters for particular purposes, right? So I thought, I'll build a shipwright, someone who looks after the ship, prepares for it, keeps everything safe, and suddenly it's gone, it's wrecked, it's gone. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a survivalist, someone who, looks after the well-being and cares for the group, make sure that we don't go into traps or we don't find ourselves ambushed, little things like that to make sure that we don't find ourselves in too dire a strait. And yet here we are, and at least I'm okay for now. I mean, I'm not dead. I'm not dying.
You've got full hit points. I think you're okay.
I'm fine. I'm golden. I will tell. Long will I tell the tale of my my ineptitudes in all the things that I set out to do.
Speaking of ineptitudes, Captain Salt, how are you doing?
I take offense to that.
So rude.
No, that's fine. I deserve that.
So rude. Yeah.
No, I probably deserve that. That's fine. Hi, I'm very warm, but good. I'm fine. I'm looking forward to today. I'm gonna have fun. I've been waiting a week for this, so. I mean, if the audience thinks that they have to wait long to find out what happens, just imagine being the person whose character is about to die.
Or stay alive and save the day.
Or stay alive and save the day. That's true.
That one, please. Yes.
I'm working on it. I did send you an extra Shah Khan a while back. We'll see if he ever gets that.
One delivery of a Shah Khan. Did you order a Shah Khan? I didn't order
Shah Khan.
Who delivered the Shah Khan? We didn't order a Shah Khan.
Please don't send him away.
We wanted a large
it come
drink
with
with the shop.
pepperoni?
We had to, order in, and it was a whole
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. You did send Gurgle Gut up there, so who knows? Who knows? All right, let's get on with it then. Hope that the audio is good and clean and fresh, and that the ghostly sounds in the background are not too loud or too
going
soft.
to die.
As the beginning of the show today wasn't exactly spectacular, but hopefully we can move on. Right. Oh yes. Thank you for pointing that out. Before we start the show. Okay, I've got 1 minute to do this in. Right. Firstly, a massive shout out to our amazing sponsors who have made this entire show possible. So that is World Anvil, worldanvil.com, where you can find all of the characters, their bios, some of the NPC bios, the map with the pins in it. It's just absolutely awesome. Hopefully moderators will share links to that. Dungeon Fog, dungeonfog.com. All the maps you see are made in Dungeon Fog. Some are made by myself, some are made by Till, who's the actual owner of Dungeon Fog. He was so excited, he's like, I want to help make maps. The maps were made by Dungeon Fog, absolutely gorgeous maps. And then Fantasy Grounds, of course, our virtual tabletop of choice that has been rolling and keeping track of all the scores and who's dying and who's not dying. Fantasy Grounds putting out all of that together, and of course Dungeons and Dragons for bringing this whole show together in the first place. So that is definitely something to look at. Now, part of this is sharing with you guys, and that means there is treasure to be found. Mama Saduk has buried some treasure. You'll notice down there, every now and again, between the logos of our sponsors, there's a cryptic clue. Head on over to our website, www.greatgamemaster.com, where you can find the treasure hunt and a map. Get a free copy of the As You See, as seen in Ghost of Saltmarsh here, courtesy of all of our wonderful sponsors, and you can find the treasure. At the end of the show, there's amazing prizes. There's a video on my YouTube channel about all those prizes, so go and have a look at that as well. Right, enough of that. Almost done in under a minute. Let us go back to the haunted house, the cryptic, ruined building, where we are going to start with initiative. That initiative is on the swarm of spiders in the attic, where our intrepid heroes have journeyed. So, let's just open this up a little bit. Oops. Let me just do that.
Oh, no.
So it's nice full screen. There we go. That is how we are standing. The swarm of insects, the swarm of spiders, sees a dapper young Flick busy destroying Indigo's life force, as well as holding on to the jade statue, if you recall. They also, however, see a very small little octopus moving around over that statue. The spiders are going to make an attack against either you or your little octopus. You're familiar.
You and your little octopus too.
Yes, you and your little octopus too. All right, roll me a d6, please, Kaora. Roll me a d6. 1, 2, 3. It is Flick. 4, 5, 6.
Choose your
1, 2,
fate.
3. It's you. Oh boy, it's going to happen when you leave fate. They have disengaged from the armor that is busy eating them because it terrifies the hell out of them, and they make an attack against Flick. They hit with a 14.
Oh no!
I don't like this.
3 points of damage. Flick, you are unconscious again. The spiders are swarming all over you. There's your last save, and it's a success.
Oh.
Indigo, 1 life success. 2 death saves. Fantasy Grounds automatically rolls. I had a heartbeat skipping moment. Giant spider attack. It's going to attack either Jagsy or Lahuna. It's going to go after Jagsy. Or Lahuna. Here's a d6. Low, it's Jags. Jags, it's up. It attacks you. It's giant. Not mandibles. Attacks Jagsy. Hits Jagsy. Deals a whopping 4 points of damage. And as its black jaws sink into your flesh, You feel this burning sensation. Please pass a Constitution saving throw.
Please
Was that you
pass.
asking me to roll one or asking me please to actually succeed?
You need to
feel like-
succeed in this Constitution saving throw. If you please, natural 20.
Ooh,
Yes!
yes.
No damage from the
where's that on my
poison.
attack?
Ooh, okay.
Your natural
Nice.
sharkiness avoids that. Flick.
Get the poison off.
First
Yes.
death saving
You poison
throw.
the spider.
First death saving throw. 10. It's a success.
Ooh, okay.
Borderline.
Take it.
Okay, he's still alive. Everyone's still alive.
Everyone, well, kinda. I mean,
Mostly alive. Just technically, everyone is still alive.
drop down into the basement where Salt is busy facing off against Sanballat. He
Yes.
is absolutely obsessed with destroying you, so he is going to disengage. He's going to step back 5 feet, give or take, to there, and then he raises his hand. Iwathwe Churash, and this little blue sphere of energy forms in his hand, which he then throws at you as magic missile sails out, slamming into you, dealing you that much damage. 4 points
Okay.
of damage.
Still
to you.
alive.
I will not let you interrupt my operations here. Thank you very much, Mr. Salt. You will learn your place. And that's
Damn it,
6 foot under the
Sanballat.
ground.
Don't have to do this.
What are you doing, Victor? You're up.
Right, I am going to do what I did last time, but hopefully I'll succeed this time. I'm going to move in, and I'm going to hit him very much.
Please do so.
Oh god, wait, no, I haven't gotten the thing shared, so I can't move myself, and I can't.
Oh,
Drop
sorry.
things.
I will share with you. There we go. It's
Thank you.
shared.
Thank you, thank you.
Now move yourself.
I'm not sure where that went, but alright. Alright, first attack. Longsword.
There's a hit. Do damage.
Alright, okay. Slash. Oh no, why? Alright, I'm going to use my bonus action to attack with my offhand.
Right.
My hand axe. That's not a hit.
Not a hit, but you
And
have. Sorry, Karen.
I'm going to use the free action to pray. I'm going to sort of. Victor begins to mutter under his breath a prayer to. Oh God. What's the name of the person again? My mind is blank.
That's what happens. There's a moment of blankness. Back up into the attic.
Damn it.
Lahuna, the spider is all over. Jagsy, you've got Flick slumped down, just being crawled all over by those little things. His little octopus is all over him, trying to fend off spiders. It sort of catches a spider and eats it and bats away at another one. Very, very briefly. What are you doing, Lahuna?
Great, Lahuna shouts, "Good Pinky, eat the crabs!" And she attempts to leap on the back of the giant spider. Lahuna has previously joy-ridden an octopus, but she's never joy-ridden a giant land crab, and she wants to know what's going to happen. Plus, she thinks it's going to be distracting. So, she does that.
Give me an acrobatics check as you leap up onto the back of this giant
I'm
spider.
gonna ride this bad boy, she yells.
You leap
I'm gonna
up
ride this bad boy.
and straddle between its cephalothorax and its abdomen. It doesn't know what's going on. It
Oh gosh.
is very
Right.
confused at the moment. It will make. Oops. No, it will make a save. The first one, not the last one. I don't know why I double clicked it there. It doesn't react immediately. It's still sort of skittering around, but it's no longer looking at Jagsy at all. It's trying to figure out what's on its back. Unlike the octopus that you've ridden before, this is not squishy and slightly, baggy. This is hard and hairy.
Land crabs are crunchy.
They are indeed. Are you going to do anything else? You can make an attack if you.
I
have
would like to make an attack.
Sure
I'm
thing.
gonna grab one of the hairs with one hand.
Yep.
It's big, so I assume that that's a handhold, and I'm going to slash at it with the Megalodon sword.
Lovely. So you are riding this giant spider, slashing it.
I'm going for a coup de grace, although clearly I've not grappled it, so I'm just going for the neck.
You're just
I'm
going
just
for
hacking wildly at the neck, people.
Just a regular
Let's see
coup.
what happens. That was the wrong dice. I'm so sorry.
That was preemptive. Pissy, it's nice damage.
Idiot McGee here. I can't see the spider, by the way, so I can't roll damage onto it.
Oh, sorry. Let me just.
No, that's okay. I will roll damage into the...
There we go. There we go. You should be able to
Into
see
the
this.
void.
Roll your attack. That's a hit.
Yes!
Do your damage.
Nice.
Let the mashing commence!
Mash,
Where are you,
mash,
Spid? I
mash.
cannot see the Spid still.
Wait. Okay, fine. Let's
I
put the
will be
spit
ready.
over there. How about now?
It's the map that I can't see.
Oh,
moving.
sorry. I thought when you said you can't see it, you can't see it.
No,
There
no,
I was
sorry.
moving the map around like
The whole Spid and Spid area. The mise en scène of Spid. But I see it now. It's good.
Make
Right,
your
let's
attack.
do this. Now I've got to make sure it's on the spider and not me. Oh, for freak's sake. Sorry, I'm inept.
Well, you
there,
hit it
apparently.
again, but you
Yeah,
can
sorry
hit
about
it once. You slam your megalodon blade into the back of this thing. Great big chunks of carapace are ripped free because of the jagged shape of the tooth, and this green ichor starts to ooze out of it. It doesn't know what's going on. Jaggerjaw.
Does it look like the swarm is about to attack Flick and Lahuna from where they are?
It looks like the swarm is about to attack Pinky.
Pinky?
Yeah.
So Pinky's kind of holding the line there
To
at
a
the
degree.
moment. Okay. Jaggy's gonna rally with Lahuna and says, all right, I guess we're all in. Let's make it happen. Come here, you giant crab. And I'm gonna swing my anchor and try to I'm not gonna try and trip it, but I'm basically gonna try and land a blow on one of the big meaty legs while it's kind of looking up and around.
Make an
Do it.
attack.
Get it, right?
Make an attack.
Smash it. Smash it.
Do I get advantage? No.
No. It has 8
It's worth a
eyes.
shot. Look, it's worth a shot.
Helped
Oh!
you. Natural 1.
Oh.
So
Oh,
this is how
no.
it starts.
No.
This is how it starts. Yeah. Natural 1. All right, you completely
You got a
missed the
20.
spider.
Then you got a 1. Now you got those out of the way.
Yeah. Because the legs are all busy moving around with Lahuna riding cowboy style on the back. You swing wildly, but you also don't want to clip into Indigo's body either, so there's a bit of concern there. So that's what happens there. That's the end of the round. Swarm of spiders. The swarm of spiders are going to attack Pinky. I don't have Pinky's stats. Have you got Pinky's stats on hand, Cora? Is he just a small octopus?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the
Familiar.
sound of improvisation.
Well, I think he's just an octopus. So he has 3 hit points.
Oh.
He's just an octopus. He has 3 hit points. Do you have an armor class for me? Otherwise, I'll bring it up here. It's fine.
12.
Armor class of 12. All right, the spider's going to make an attack against an armor class of 12. There is their attack. They hit.
Oh no!
Pinky!
No way!
Oh man!
There is a moment where it's just
Max,
tentacles fighting against this black swarm, and then the tentacles all stiffen, and then the whole thing fades from existence as the spider swarm piles down around itself and around Pinky. Indigo,
F.
are we ready? There's nothing for you to roll here. Fantasy Grounds are going to do it automatically as I click the
Yeah,
next.
I'm ready.
Failure, but it's only
Second.
saying it's your second one. I thought you were already on your second one. I don't want you to die. Fantasy Grounds is keeping track, so dying second save, you're still there. I don't know.
No, it is the second
Hanging
one.
in there.
It is the
She
second
went
one.
down.
Hanging in.
Flicked it.
All right.
It's the second failure, and
Yeah.
I have
Second fail.
one.
Okay. Right,
And
you
one.
are. The giant spider is just going
Second.
ballistic with you on its back, Lahuna. It is going to try and get you off of that because there are very few animals that like things on their backs. So it is going to try and wrestle you off. Would you please give me an opposed acrobatics or athletics check? You need to beat an 11.
Yes, I will do that thing. Come on, Laguna. That was not the rule I was looking for.
All right.
Who greased this spider?
Level 1.
Yeah, you are flicked off of the back of this giant creature, which immediately turns and looks at you. That is its action for the round. However, Flick, another success.
Okay.
Another success. 2 successes. You just need 1 more and you're dead.
Can I have some of Flick's luck?
Yeah, between you and Jags, you need some of Flick's luck. Right, down below, Sanballat snarls at you. Why won't you die, you old dog? I knew you were tough before, but I didn't get this option. All right.
Don't have to do this. I didn't mean to take over. That's not why I'm here.
Oh, it's too late for that.
We can stop this right now.
Yeah, you should have stopped it when you stole my bargain from the hobgoblin. He summons up another blue ball. He takes another step back. As he does so, he fires off his second magic missile at you. 4 points of damage. Salt goes down. Salt goes down. The last thing you hear, Salt, as you drop to your knees, you drop your 2 weapons, you hear Sanballat going, "Boys, bring me the shark chum. We've got feeding." There's your first death save, and it's a 1
Oh, that's
on Salt.
2.
It's a 1 on Salt. That's 2 failures.
Okay, now more than half the party is dying.
Things are going so well. We're back upstairs with this giant spider. Lahuna?
Did I mention I'm still praying, by the way?
You couldn't remember who your god's name was, so no.
Halvo. His name's Halvo.
Halva, yes.
Yes.
This. That's your last thought. It's like, oh, it's Halva.
Halvo.
Of course. Lahuna, what are you doing? This giant spider is there. It's ready. It's hungry. It's bleeding.
It should be. It's going to do more of that right now, she says.
All right.
These are some bold words. I am going to attack. How tall is the spider?
The spider is about 5 foot tall. Or high, I should say. That. I don't know if you talk about the height of spiders or the tallness of spiders.
Yeah, I'm wondering about stabbing its fleshy underbelly if it has one. I still think it's a crab.
You could easily roll underneath it and stab up. Not a problem.
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
That sounds stupid. I'll do that. Well, Lahuna, not very bright, very enthusiastic. Lahuna, cartwheels forward, military style. She's got that training. And she attempts to stab up into the belly of the beast.
The belly is as heavily armored as the top, and your blade thumps and thunks against its underside, not penetrating.
Dunk.
Dunk.
Right.
Jaggerjaw. Lahuna is lying underneath the spider. It doesn't know where she is. It has 8 eyes, but unfortunately they're all upward facing. It has its back to you. What are you doing?
Thinking dumb things. Okay.
Seems to be the theme of the party.
It does.
No. Just being,
No, I need to.
I
Okay.
get facetious when I get nervous.
I'm gonna move over to Flick and Indigo.
Uh-huh.
Now, what I'd like to do with Jaggerjaw is I'd like to, basically with the anchor that I've got, throw it into the air directly above me. I want to sort of go straight up and straight back down. Okay. While it's hanging in the air, I want to basically pick up both Flick and Indigo.
Uh-huh.
And as the anchor crashes into the rotten wood at my feet, I want to basically get to the floor below.
Uh-huh.
With my weight, Indigo's weight, Flick's weight, and the anchor coming crashing down.
Okay, I like it. You throw the anchor up. This is going to require Good grief, this is an interesting one. Alright, so you throw this anchor high up into the air. Give me... You know what? Give me a strength check, if you please.
Okay.
As you launch this thing up into the air.
All right, here we go. Come on.
Yes!
So you launch
At the
it
ceiling.
into the air. There is this terrific crashing, creaking sound as it punctures through the slate roof up into the glorious evening air. You bend down, you grab Flick in one, you grab Indigo in the other, and then this anchor comes down. You need to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Uh-oh.
Well, you could say you threw it up and down.
I did. Oh,
And
not
your
bad.
dexterity saving throw is great. The anchor slams into that rotten wood. The wood was already under huge amounts of pressure. And in a burst of wood and mold and corpses, the three of you disappear down in a giant hole.
Hi, Luna.
I'll be back.
Dunk, dunk, dunk.
Don't die.
All right, now Jagsy, just roll me a d12, if you please. Just a d12. Don't roll a 2.
But Guy, I don't want to.
He said,
wizard-
don't roll a
I said
two.
you don't roll a 2.
But you see, Guy, a wizard does not roll higher or lower than they need. They roll precisely what they mean.
I'm going to come back to you as to the
But
consequences.
you're a wizard.
You're not a wizard. You're a person.
You're a ranger.
Back to the top of the round.
That's
the
your
swarm.
mistake.
The swarm does not know what to do. There's no pinky. There's just a hole where it used to be. I'm just going to draw. Oh, there we go. I'm going to draw a hole here. There's a big hole in the floor right there. So the spider swarm retreats back into its little cocooned area. Are you ready, Indigo?
Yeah, I'm bracing myself.
A success.
It's 2 for 2.
It's 2 for 2.
2.
All right.
This is very rude in the UK, right? What I just did.
2 for 2. Giant spider. It's about to attack you, Lahuna. It bears down upon you with an angriness. You are lying underneath it. It doesn't like you at all. It jumps down and hits.
Oh no.
Oh.
It deals 7 points of damage. As you are knocked unconscious.
Oh no.
Okay, so now Jaggerjaw is the only one. Still
I will save everyone.
Born up by pure rage.
Are you ready?
Just do it.
Natural 20.
Oh. Yes.
20. Your eyes. I think that's your 3 saves. I
Yeah.
think that's your 3 saves.
Heal 1.
All right.
Spiders come out of Flick's mouth.
Sanballat, I'm going to remove from the combat because he's not there. Victor. I've never had so many death saves in a row. This is just insane. Here we go. A natural 20. That's 2 in a row for the GM. Who says Fantasy Grounds hates the characters?
Oh wow. I just said that after that first one.
It just hates
It is determined to make it dramatic.
You're not unconscious. Why did I think you were unconscious?
Oh, it did a system shock thing from the
Oh, it
damage.
did a
that
system
dealt.
shock thing. It did a
Yeah, I
system
got
shock.
7. I got more than half
You
my
got
hit
more than
points of
half
damage
it.
at
That's
once, but I'm not. It said no result.
Yes, well, you
Yeah,
just
you're
have
not
no
down.
reactions for this round. Yes, sorry, so you're not dead. You're not dying. Sorry, I
good.
misinterpreted completely. It is your turn. There is a
You
giant
still get out
spider.
of there.
Yes, what are you doing?
Well, my buddies have tactically retreated, which is
Disappeared
cool.
through a hole in the floor.
Through an elevator they made, which is cool.
Thank you.
How big is the spider and how big is the elevator?
The spider is about 10 foot across. The hole is around about 5 foot across.
So the spider's not going to go down the elevator. Unless they're like crabs and they can squeeze into spaces. Can they do that?
You don't
Do I
know?
know anything about land crabs?
Well, the spider's body's hard, whereas an octopus is soft.
That's true. I went dunk, dunk, dunk.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah.
Good. All right. I'm going to tactically retreat, which means I'm going to risk an attack. Oh no! I'm going to use
Disengage.
my action
Do
to
full
disengage.
Yep.
Precisely. And then run the flick away down that hole. I'm
gonna
going
launch-
down the hole, please.
You're basically going to take a 5 foot step down the hole.
Yeah, I'm rolling. I'm rolling all that way.
All right, you launch yourself down into that hole.
Rolling.
There is nothing the spider can do as you slip down the floor below into the chaos. The absolute chaos that is
Who do I
down
land
below. I will give you that map now. Let me just open it up here.
Someone gets mermaid butt in their face, so lucky you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hear that's
Is
good
there,
luck.
is there more of your armor around your butt? So are there literally butt barnacles?
There may be some butt butt.
No, I look up and all of a sudden I
Place to
just
protect.
blem, blem, blem.
Yeah.
Whoever I land on gets
Across
licked, I can
here.
tell you that for free.
So, yeah, there is Jaggerjaw. There. Oh, grab the wrong map.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
There's
going
Indigo.
I'm kind of just wondering if we went down one floor or multiple floors after the
And,
roll.
there's Lahuna. Well, that's a
I mean,
question.
because I might make it to save Victor if we keep going.
You rolled a 2. Yeah, if you keep going, you can eventually get to Victor, no doubt about it. Right.
Incredibly hurt and unconscious party members just like,
Save you!
Jaggerjaw, you fell through that floor, landed on this side of the house, and if you recall, it was incredibly unstable. Remember, there was some very nervous walking towards the windows and things. So I'm going to get you to roll a d20 for me. You have to roll above 10, otherwise that floor is giving in, and that would be bad. The floor
Okay.
sags like a wet mattress, absorbing
Come on,
your
come on.
fall.
Is this
Then-
before or after Lahuna?
This is before. Then you need to give me a dexterity saving throw to get out of the way of Lahuna, who just dove down. You catch Lahuna very, 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 very well. And as a result, you take 4 points of damage, Daisy.
I'm still okay!
It's fine, my armor will lick it better.
I've got 1 hit point. Does the floor still continue to sag?
No, the floor holds because it's just Lahuna's weight that's landed on it, and Indigo, I assume, is to the one side and Flick is to the other.
As Lahuna lands, she's like, "Hi, Jagsy. How are you doing?"
I'm alright. How's the land crab going?
It's up there. Still.
Okay.
I think we should keep going down, but maybe the traditional way.
Here
Yeah,
we go.
good
Indigo's
idea.
saving throw
Did it throw?
is a pass.
I'm alive.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Flick, you passed your saving throws, so you're on 1 hit point.
am I conscious?
You are?
Is Indigo conscious?
No, not yet.
I'm gonna scrabble over to Indigo. I'm gonna get out
Stop
one of
crawling over me! Just walk, damn it!
the old healing potion vials with
Right.
weird thing in it. I'm gonna
You uncork
Gonna-
it and try and slide the sludge into her mouth.
yes.
Traditionally,
Please,
healing
get a
potions are a red rosewater liquid. This, however, when you turn it upside down, there's a slight movement as gravity pulls on it. And as you shake it, it's like the last of the ketchup until eventually there's this great big bleh. And so some of it splashes over most of her mouth, some of it gets into the mouth. You swear you can see little bits of mold growing in and amongst
Oh, no.
but it's enough to cause her to swallow. You may roll 2d8.
What?
2d8. That's how much you're going to give her back.
Ooh. Potions get better with age.
Oh,
They do. They ferment. And either kill you or you're okay.
Whoa!
You get 15 hit points back.
nice.
That's a good healing potion.
Some
guy had to work with
clutch rolls
fancy
right
grass.
now.
Yeah, I quickly got on defensive grounds. Like, please stop killing them. Victor Salt, we don't know what happens to you.
Nope.
I am going to just do this quickly.
There is a taste of sadness in my mouth.
Oh no, it's called mushroom.
Don't worry about that. Are you okay?
I think so. Are you okay, little dragon?
Yeah,
We
I'm
are.
fine.
I don't know what's going on. We are effectively out of combat. I
Oh.
want
I'm
all
gonna-
four
I'm
of
gonna
you,
put-
please, to give me perception checks.
Okay, I'm going to put down Lahuna and Indigo. I'm very badly injured.
Perception checks, please, all four of you. There we go. Flick, you hear nothing except the sweet, sweet sound of victory. Lahuna, you hear something. Yeah, Jagged Jaw. Oh, there's a 20.
Ooh.
Where was that?
Indigo
three
hears
taken?
everything.
Lahuna and Indigo, between the two of you, it sounds like there is a tremendous amount of scuffling, banging, there's a slamming sound, then there's this wet pouring of liquid sound, and then a thump coming from down the staircase from you.
It's just Victor making you some celebratory tea. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. He's
That's
making you
what the
tea.
two of you are hearing.
There are more people in this house.
Definitely
Guys.
sounds like it.
You stay here. I'll go check it out.
No, I'm coming with you. I'm fine.
I look at Indigo and see her swaying. Indigo, stay here. That's an order.
I'm all right.
Pretty good, actually.
I can
Yeah.
a
You
little
can
further.
give me orders.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually pretty good. I think right now I have the most hit points out of all of us.
Probably.
You do.
We're healthy.
All right, so
Literally.
I see some people have got this map, some people don't. Let me share it with you quickly. You may move your
Jagsy's
tokens
gonna-
as you so choose.
Jagsy's going to offer to help, but you can kind of see that he is incredibly, brutally injured.
Yeah. Jagsy, stay here with Flick. All right. You need to look
Jagsy?
after Flick.
Would you like Gross potion?
What?
It healed Indigo. Here, you take it.
I'll throw it in my mouth and just crunch.
I put my hand in front of my face because often when this happens, like small glass shards just fly out of Jagsy's mouth. And I have my eyes.
Yes, you can roll 2d8.
Of course. Okay, there we go.
You get 8
So 8.
back.
Very good.
Okay.
Something.
All right. Not bad. I can function without dying.
Yes, you can. You can indeed function without dying. All right, so who is going downstairs? Who is staying upstairs?
I'm going downstairs.
All right, you can move your
No
token.
matter what the first lieutenant says.
This is why we're in this mess in the first place.
I'm
Lahuna?
going to take a...
Sorry.
Oh.
So Lahuna's going down.
Yeah,
Jagsy?
Lahuna will take point.
I'm going to take out my rope, and if any of you are Star Wars fans, I'm going to take Flick, and I'm going to make myself a Flick backpack. And just tie it around my waist, so he's kind of like, he's literally watching my back, and I'll tell him quite
Good
literally,
idea, that is.
all right, listen, if you can watch my back for the next, let's say, till we get out of here, I will stop chasing you around the galley. For a month.
I have a question for you, Jagsy. Is
Okay.
he like straddling your dorsal fin?
Kind of.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
yeah, I imagine it's, you know, it's sort of like it's almost like a comfy headrest.
As we leave the door, Flick's just gonna say,
Giddy up.
I stop for a moment. I consider life choices. I'll continue. Okay.
All right, where are you heading to, Lahuna? You have point. Everyone else seems to be following you, which I don't have a problem with. Where
Which
are
direction is the splashy, gurgly mash noise coming from?
That has stopped, and now it sounds like there is a terrific amount of ripping and banging and hissing coming from the long staircase directly in front of you.
In front, this way?
Directly in front of you. Yep.
That way.
So that one.
Then
to
we're
your
going this way.
You're going that way.
Yes.
All right.
If they're all coming with me, it's a tactical retreat, people.
All right. So everyone starts.
Should we retreat if
Yes,
Victor is
yes.
still somewhere in this house?
We are retreating. Do you see this? We are going the retreat way. The way of retreat. Follow
All right.
me. If you
I do understand what retreat means, Lahuna.
Hang on. As you get to this upper landing, Lahuna, on that very wobbly staircase, if you recall, there is a hiss and a shout from down below in this the ground just below you in the main hall. Standing with a very eviscerated, bloody corpse of a Sharkan next to him is this impressively large lizard folk, resplendent in green scales. He has the most amazing blue, orange, and yellow war paint across his entire long scaled snout. In one hand he holds this long obsidian blade which has got very large teeth strapped to it, making it even more of an impactful weapon, and he has feathers tastefully displayed about his head, giving him this very noble crest. He himself is covered in blood as well. He looks up at you, Lahuna, and what do you do?
I look at
Indigo
him.
leans forward and says, "This is the retreat way."
I look at him. He looks at me. I take one step back to here, and I say, "Hey, Scale Boy, come get me!"
Oh no! What?
Lahuna is poised with her foot on the top step.
All right, Indigo, what are you doing with this paladin backing up towards you?
I'm stepping out of the way and looking at her. I'm absolutely used to Lahuna doing things I don't understand. But right now, I'm with my eyes. I'm begging her to tell me she's not going crazy, that she has a plan. And because usually that doesn't work, because kind of we're not on the same wavelength. I actually say, "Please tell me you have a plan."
I'm gonna get this tag.
That was I come again.
Gonna get the staircase to disappear
How?
with my foot.
Oh, fine.
By the way,
I move back a little bit more.
All right, Flick, you are saddling Jagsy.
would I know what language lizard folk speak?
Have you been on land for very long? I don't know. I'm
No.
not sure. Lizard folk, the Sharkan certainly will, but I don't think you would. No, I don't think you would.
Okay, I'm gonna say in common.
Oh, hello. How are you?
All right, that's what you're shouting out at this thing. Its big head turns over because it stands about 7 foot tall, and this long purple tongue flicks in and flicks out. And I've just realised, as a matter of fact, you would know what his language is. You have Fanukwe on the ship, one of the deckhands who's a lizard folk. So yes, you would know what language they speak.
What language do they speak?
They speak the language of the lizard folk. No, they speak Draconic.
Okay, so could I switch that to Draconic instead? Same thing.
Sure
just
thing.
I said it in Draconic.
So we've got the paladin trying to goad them into coming up the stairs, and then we've got you down there. Sorry, what did you say again? Just remind me.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Okay, that's what you're shouting up to this individual. Jagsy?
Now, Jagsy, seeing the dead body of the Sharkan, who he had no idea there was a Sharkan here, he begins to mutter in a different language. This is, of course, Sharkan. He's doing it softly, and Flick is the only one who will probably hear him clearly. Jaggerjaw is very rarely angry at anything, but when he does, he starts to revert back to his more primal Shakan-ness, I guess. So you can hear Flick, Jagsy starting to go,
Sun's getting real low.
Jagsy is kind of breathing heavily. Like his core muscles are starting to tense. You can kind of feel the ropes getting tighter on you as his muscles are starting to swell.
Wanna get off? Wanna get off?
All right. This lizard folk looks at the four of you. It's difficult to read their expressions because they have even less facial muscles than the little sea kobolds. So this tongue is still sort of tasting out. Then you hear hissing down below. Anybody who speaks Draconic will understand this. Anyone who does not understand it. The hissing is, "We have found the entrance, Lord. It is here."
Ooh.
The figure
What
looks
entrance?
at you lot. It then says, "You should know. Your master is dealing with forces beyond his comprehension. Stay where you are if you wish to live."
Oh, okay.
Supposed to make that noise.
And then
Speaking Draconic.
he walks underneath you.
Oh, can I do
Did
something
you
as
say
he
that
walks
it's
under-
common?
No, he said it in Draconic.
Okay.
Oh, nobody move. Nobody move.
As he walks underneath,
Yeah.
Jagsy leaps clean over the edge.
Oh, no.
With his anchor in hand, he just brings it down, and he says, "Shakan!" and swings as heavy as he can onto the head of this lizard folk.
All right.
Ouch.
Flick, you don't have a choice. You're going with him. Because you are riding this shark over the balcony. Make your attack, Jaggerjaw. You have advantage. He wasn't expecting you to leap over the balcony and drop down 15 feet to attack him. A natural 20. You slam your anchor into this individual. Do your damage. Do your worst. That's 19 points of damage. That's not bad. You drop this individual in a heartbeat. The anchor buries through the top of his skull. Under your weight, his spine just snaps. His hand drops that obsidian blade, and he drops into a pile of very dead shoes in Potentia. And Jaggerjaw, you land. Unfortunately, you take 6 points of damage as you land badly on the tiles and things. Flick, you're going to take 3 points of damage, which once again knocks you unconscious. Unless, actually, you know what? You weren't tied into the saddle. Was he tied, or were you holding?
He was tied.
You take 3 points of damage, Flick, as you are slammed into the tiles, which once again puts you into your usual state of existence.
Man, you're really in the revolving door of death, aren't you?
Yeah.
Indigo, what are you doing? You've just watched Jagsy launch himself off of this balcony down. There was crunching sounds, there was snapping sounds, there was a possible... What was the sound from Flick?
No!
And then silence.
Indigo mutters something in Sea Elvish. "Dorir, my lady!" And she hurries down the stairs. How far can I make it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of flank over.
Yes. All
They're
right.
still there. And then she stands before Jagsy and holds up a hand and says, "No, still. You do not want this."
You can see Jagsy, as he slammed into the whole thing, you probably rolled onto your side. That was where Flick took all the damage. Yes, so you're telling him...
Be still.
Be still.
No more.
Jaggerjaw has a couple of moments. He's sort of still breathing quite heavily, all the adrenaline still in his body. I'm going to do a self-imposed thing.
I think you pass.
He'll calm, slow his breathing, and
Flick. A natural 1, double failure.
oh no!
I can't handle this. I'm going home. This is just a roller coaster of.
I'm sorry.
Well, you're the one person that stays. I might be going home.
Yeah, you might be going home.
Stabilize now!
Victory snack.
No! Stabilize! Now!
Victory snack. I don't know what's going on. All right, Victor, I will come to you shortly. Lahuna, you've rushed down the stairs.
So Lahuna runs downstairs. She had some cockamamie plan which involved collapsing the stairs, but apparently that wasn't happening today. So fine, she tried to be tactical. Lahuna runs down the stairs. The first thing she does is takes out a knife from her belt and cuts Flick off. Dagger.
Easy
Carries
enough.
his tiny little body, lays it on the floor like he's made of nothing. And she tries to stabilize him because he's just bleeding.
Crushed.
Wait.
All right, I'll give you that. Give me a medicine check. A better one. A better medicine check. Give me a better medicine check.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently holding a Seabold in your hands and smacking it against the floor doesn't cause it to restart. It just doesn't.
Wake up! Wait, why won't you wake up?
You have to turn it off and on again.
I wanted to be your friend! Don't die!
Shaggyjaw.
Oh, I feel really bad.
Just you wait, Henry Higgins.
I'm gonna try to also do the medicine check thing. I'm going to use all my sort of wilderness survival tactics. Given being a sea ranger, I'm hoping that I know a little bit more about kobold anatomy.
That would be nice. But not.
No.
I think 10 is just enough. 10 is just enough.
Was it? Yay!
To stabilize?
I know just enough.
You
More than
stabilize.
don't die!
A wizard does not roll higher or lower.
Alright.
I thought you were going to say that you threw up some of the potion.
Alright,
Oh
baby
my
burn
god.
it. Alright,
No.
no.
That would be
Does
terrifying.
that mean I take damage if I do that?
Yeah.
That would be absolutely terrifying. Unfortunately, stepping out from that room where the captain, the lord, as a matter of fact, was about to go, 4 very large lizard men step forward and disappear because I didn't drag them to the right place.
Yay!
Yes, that can't possibly happen, right?
We win!
Yeah, so these 4 very large lizard folk step forward, all wielding the same black obsidian weaponry, and look at the 4 of you. The first one that steps forward, he raises his blade very, very calmly, and then pauses for just a second.
You have slain our lord. You shall die,
He says. They start to move around to encircle you. What are you doing, Indigo?
Indigo stands up and wishes she had the ability to bullshit people that Lahuna has. But she has to improvise and hope that maybe she's going to back her up. he was not slain, it was justice. For he had killed one of his blood for blood. We need not spill any more blood, but the Shakan is now sated.
Give me a persuasion check. I like what you said there, and you have advantage on this roll. I like that.
Okay. Come here, character, and advantage. Persuasion. There we go.
17.
Not bad.
17 is pretty good. They seem to lower their weapons slightly as they listen to you. Their eyes look at you, their tongues moving in and out, tasting the air. They continue to circle just a little bit around you, forming or closing off, I should say, the space, just in case anyone is thinking of moving or running. Stepping out from the kitchen beyond, we're on the wrong map here, but I'm not going to change it just yet. We might get out of this. OBS operator's busy shaking his head like, no, they're screwed. They're not going to get out of anything. Stepping out from around the one is this very proud looking lizard folk. Lots of bones hang off of his shoulders, and he has a skull of, it looks like a crocodile on top of his own, which is just accentuates the length of his snout. His paint is not that of brilliant war paint and things. It's more ghost-like. He looks at the lot of you, and then he looks down at Lahuna, and you can see his eyes are a little bit cloudy. And he looks at you, Lahuna, and he says, Rahana? What
Lahuna
is your
pulls
response,
fishes for a
Lahuna?
What did you say, sorry?
Rahana?
Lahuna goldfishes for a moment. She's like... and I'm like, almost Rahana, just one generation away. My mind is thinking back to the last time I was here. No, 2 times ago when I was here, because the last time didn't go so well. Do I remember that
You have,
he was...
in most of your travels, never encountered lizard folk at all.
Okay. So she looks this man up and down, and she's like, how do you know my mom?
That is your mother's name. You are her sprogling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you here?
It's a really funny story, and I cannot wait to share it with you. I'm Lahuna. She puts her hand out to shake his hand.
He looks at your hand, then he looks at Jaggerjaw covered in lizard man blood, at the corpse, back to you, at the little Seabold, at Indigo.
You were correct in your blood for blood. If the Lord was slain in honorable combat by the Shakan, there is no retribution warranted.
Lahuna is nodding furiously. I completely agree. It was so honorable, and you know what? It was an honorable death. He fought bravely. The whole thing was worthy of a freaking song. It was amazing.
Indigo is very, very... She's just happy that Lahuna is doing this because she couldn't call this honorable. No way. She can't lie like that. So she just sensed it.
Just nod.
Are you part of the scum that calls this place home?
Oh, definitely. I am anti-scum. If you see the scum, I am on the other team. I wash the scum off. I am not pro-scum.
Then what brings you here?
Actually, the scum kind of wants to kill us, which I'm not super enjoying. Scum has some really bad ideas. We're trying to assuage the ideas of the scum. Basically, everything the scum is for, we are totally on the other side. I cannot express enough how much we are anti-scum. All right?
You
The
are
scum
very much like your mother, he says. In which case, then, you may enjoy witnessing the end of the scum, as you so call them.
Definitely, but I do have to say that my friend used to be scum adjacent. All right? Before he had a change of heart, and he is a completely different player. He is reformed. He prays to Halvo. He's got a whole thing going. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I cannot tell you how beautiful it is. But he used to be scum adjacent, and if you look at him in the wrong light, he can look like scum. So I just need to be sure that you do not damage my friend, who is now super good, but still kind of... So there's a patina of scum across him. Just slightly. It's a tiny pattern. We're working on it. We are working on it. And you know what? Halvo be praised, and Elise be praised. He's gonna get through. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be so beautiful. But right now, just a little bit scummy. So don't kill my friend, because he's awesome. This is what I'm saying.
Oh.
I feel like I should have done a persuasion roll at some point.
Indigo leans over to Jaxie. Did you get any of that?
Not a bloody word.
Oh, good. I think she switched languages.
Oh, they're buying it.
This is the used car salesman school of rhetoric.
He slowly nods.
I think I understand.
Of course you do. Look, you're a smart man. We're smart people. We're clearly on the same side. We just want to be on the same team. We want things to be great. Do you want things to be great? Because I want things to be great. I think we all want things to be great. Let's go make things great.
As long as it's not a human, then everything will be great.
He says as he starts to lead you towards the kitchen and the stairs down.
Why is being human a problem?
There is a possibility the victor is currently shark chum, so, no real issue there.
He turns and he looks at you.
They are the ones who have caused their disturbance. It is their foul magics that have brought this plague upon our peoples.
Well, look, I know how easy it is to mix humans up, and yes, sometimes they do look the same, but they are all different. You can't just say humans, all right? It's we're past that time now. We don't have to do that anymore.
Jagadraw will interject. Humans started the Black Tide, Old One.
It was summoned to our waters by them.
I'll
They
look
do
at
like to
Luna
play with the dangerous
and
toys.
Indigo.
You know who summoned the Black Tide? Wait, that's
Do you know which
all
human?
humans?
The tide is called to the Azure Sea by the humans. That is all we know.
We are trying to find out more about it and to stop it. That is why I am here, at least. I look at the rest of the party. And there is one human on our side, so not all of them wish to bring the hunger from the deep and to bring the Black Tide to all the seas.
You may explain to our queen. Perhaps she will be more sympathetic.
She sounds awesome. We definitely want to talk to her. She sounds amazing. I cannot wait. Please take us to your queen so we can have a great chat with her. Tell her about all of the things. And you know what? We will make the world great together. It's going to be amazing.
I did not follow what she said, but we will happily talk to your queen, yes.
You are then ushered, because he sort of lazily waves a hand to follow, and the lizard folk fall in behind you.
As we're following...
Yes, I'm going to come to you now, Flick. Yes, Michael?
Oh, sorry. I'll let Flick go, because I feel like Flick's been unconscious for a while.
Yes,
I
Flick?
think I'm still unconscious.
You
I'm
are
stable.
still unconscious, but you're not dying anymore. You were stabilized.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
you're all right. You were led down the stairs of this massive structure and into this very strange basement where, if you recall, there were lots of bottles of wine and the like. And you are taken down even further, past definitely a secret door of some kind. And you are then eventually led to this cave system. And the cave system takes you in a roundabout way. You can see there are several very dead-looking individuals that have no chance of being resurrected. There's blood everywhere. There are lizard folk standing, all heavily armored, and you are eventually brought to the mouth of this cave. The sea is gently washing on the outside, and what is most visible, I suppose you could say, or what is most striking, is just outside of this cave mouth is this magnificent, absolutely magnificent lizard folk war canoe. And it is resplendent. It looks like this massive carved sea serpent. Brilliant colors adorn it, and yes, it is a thing of beauty to behold, basically. Just off of the cave mouth. In the front of the cave mouth is two figures. One you recognize as Salt, bound on his knees, blood leaking from his mouth. Next to him is another scrawny human, also bound and gagged. He has this big gash across the side of his head. And then there are several other thugs in the background, which I suppose I can add in if you really like. But yes, there is this collection, and they're all human. The shaman lizard man steps around them. These individuals are to be executed.
But do you remember my friend, the one that I said was scum adjacent? Because that's my friend, and he's not scum. He's just slightly scum looking, so he's totally not scum. And we should just untie him right now. Should we do that? I think that's a great idea. Isn't that a great idea?
You will slay the first to be destroyed as a mark of your integrity.
Okay.
He looks at you, Lahuna.
Sure, but I'm not going to kill my friend, because as we have already established, and you're a smart man, you will remember this. He is only scum adjacent. He is not scum, and we don't kill scum adjacent people, because what is that? That's bad. And what are you? You're awesome. So you wouldn't want me to do that, would you?
We've moved on to motivational speaker here.
Give me a persuasion check against him.
I am amazed I've got this far without doing one.
Let's see what the dice say as you continue this tirade of words.
Positivity.
I finally know why in some systems this is called fast talk.
Exactly right.
Oh, okay.
It's a 22.
Okay.
His tongue bursts in, bursts out. He looks from you. He looks back to Victor.
Oh,
He is not not convinced. Prove your worth first, and then we will see about releasing your pet.
Victor sort of looks up. He looks really bad and just sort of blinks and sort of tries to focus on Luna and said, "Oh, I thought that was you.
Hi, Victor.
Glad you're alive."
Slay one, or I will slay them all.
Victor says, Lahuna says very cheerfully, "Hi, Victor. I have to kill somebody. Which one shall I kill?"
How about that one? And I sort of nod towards Sanballat. He's a really nasty one.
Righty-ho.
He almost killed me right now.
Treacherous to the last, Salt.
Oh, you have no idea, Sanballat. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Do you...
Victor! Shh. I love you, buddy.
dispatch Sanballat?
Sorry.
What? I pull out my blade, and I kneel down, and I
have
say
a
a
wife
prayer.
and children.
No, you don't.
I could.
No, you can't.
At least you take this soul. And I slice through it.
Ah, as you slice into him, he drops over dead. God removes his token. He bleeds out.
Is
Jax?
anyone gonna eat that? I was gonna. That's why you can remove the token. I just sort of.
Party alignment.
Hey, executing a horrible murderous sociopath is not technically an evil act, is it?
Says the
doing
vigilante
evil.
every time. Alright, so Lahuna, you have dispatched Sanballat. He gurgles and bleeds out on the sand in front of you. The shaman steps forward. I see why you are the daughter of Rana.
My mom does that for breakfast.
So be it. Rescue your human. The rest, he says, and the other lizard folk move in and take out the last of the two thugs.
I very possessively put my arms around Victor.
Alright,
And
hi.
I'm like,
Ow,
this one is mine.
ow, 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 ow. Really hurt right there. Alright, thank you. Hi, I'm very glad to see you again.
You will now journey with us to see our queen.
Alright.
Cool. That sounds amazing.
We will gladly come with you.
The first few lizard folk start to just swim out towards their canoe, their great big powerful tails propelling them quite quickly through the water. The shaman looks at... Does it swim? He says, looking at Victor.
Slightly aquatically challenged. I'm gonna put him in the boat and push.
I see. The boat is filled with crates. You're not entirely sure what's in those crates,
Luna.
Luna, but it's filled with crates.
Look, I just gotta get out of this chainmail and I can swim. I'm alright. Look, you really need to take notice of the barrels and crates that are around here. They contain about 400 pounds of something.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Says Lahuna, subtle as always.
Yes, I thought maybe they shouldn't be around here if everyone else is leaving.
Let's, yeah.
What's in the crates, human? Says the shaman, who has obviously overheard this conversation.
Something that can take out an hunger from the deep, hopefully.
Fire crystals. Gnomish fire crystals. Would your queen like them? I bet she would love them. Really good for trade.
They shall be brought with us. He indicates to two of his warriors who basically look at you, Salt, look at a position on the little boat, and it looks as if they're going to push the boat out with all of the crates that have been loaded up onto the boat. And
I scramble onto the boat.
all right.
Don't crash that boat.
Thank you.
No, you don't want to do that.
Is
The boat
Flick
is-
alright? Is Flick okay? Is he alive?
He is yeah, he's sleeping. He's fine. He's totally fine. He's just
Alright,
taking a little nap. Don't worry about him. Just concentrate on yourself. You're
And
fine too.
I'm fine. I'm just.
We're all fine. Are we all fine? I think we're all fine.
All right. Good.
Can I persuade the next one?
I'm Flick.
It is not terribly difficult to swim out to this massive war canoe. It is an impressive structure, over 90 foot in length, with oars sticking out on either side that look like great big spines stabbing into the water. This large carved serpent seems to ride the waves with a determination and an aggressiveness, if you like, that belies its speed, because once you are aboard, the very basic accommodation, there's a leather roof which provides shade to a degree from the sun. This starts to the whole canoe, once everyone is loaded aboard, kind of placed down, the shaman passes by Flick. Is it sleeping?
He had a little bit of a tough day. I don't know if you can help him. Are you of age?
Shah. Flick, you are imbued with healing as the shaman's hand passes over you, restoring you 1 hit point, bringing you to 1 hit point, allowing you to be awake on 1 hit point.
Again.
Lahuna gives the shaman a big hug.
I don't feel so
Doesn't
good.
want it, but she gives it to him anyway.
Oh,
You made it, Flick.
it's been a tough day.
Oh, it's been a tough week, mate.
Did
But look at you, in one piece.
hug that lizard folk? Is that why we're all friends now?
Yeah, we're all
well,
friends now.
Lahuna did that thing with her mouth words, and now we're apparently taking explosives to the Lizard Queen. That's about as far as I've gotten.
Oh,
Yep.
well. I've got things to do in Saltmarsh, really. I think I could just, I could probably
Get back
just
here.
jump over. I think I just need a few days rest.
But this is going to be so much fun. We're going to meet the queen, guys. She's like famous. She's the queen.
There is a tremendous boom, 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 which suddenly starts up. And the oars on the ship start to pump backwards and forwards. And the war canoe just starts to slide through the waves, almost bouncing over the tops of the crests of the white foam of the water that's splashing against the coasts that runs along the length of Saltmarsh. It is at that point that perhaps some of you might realize that this is a journey that is going to take a week, as the capital of the lizard folk is in Qualt Ox, deep within the Ikawa swamps, which are far, far to the north. And so the canoe surges forward, unless any of you are going to try and abandon ship mid-journey.
No, we don't want to do. We don't want to be in Saltmarsh with explosives. We want to be away from Saltmarsh with explosives.
Right, you are. The ship starts to make its way north. For those of you not accustomed to consuming lizard folk meals, dinners and breakfasts are a challenge. Great big chunks of raw flesh are dumped down in front of you. It isn't fish, it looks like carcasses of buffalo and similar swamp-dwelling beasts. It's pretty much all there is. I see Flick is diving into that. So, there we go. And so our journey takes us far, far north, and you all have, for the very first time, a long rest.
Yay!
Wait. Does Flick have more than 1 hit point?
Yes.
Yay!
He does.
Five every day for a week. I'm going to keep giving them to you because But Barnacles, you need some more hit points.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yes, indeed. The ship is going to make its way slowly along the coastline, and on day 2 of the journey, someone can roll a d8 for me, if you please. Just a random d8. I'm just removing these monsters. 6. It is stormy, but not yet raining. The waters have turned that dark, dark grey, which for most of you would be a non-event. You'd be looking up at it from underneath the water, and underneath would be fairly calm, just darker than usual. But up here the wind whips around and that ship struggles, and the headway is not as great as it could be. There are great big froths of white on top of each of the waves, and the temperature starts to drop rather uncomfortably. There is a call from the front of the ship, a sighting of some kind. The shaman limps to the front, looks ahead, and just sort of shakes and is fairly miserable. Are any of you going to have a look?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
All right. As you clamber to the front, the entire vessel has slowed down, and you can see half of the oars have been retracted into the ship itself, and the few oars are being used very tentatively. There are just floating bodies in the water. Carcasses of, it looks like, whales, dolphins, sharks, just as far as you can see in front of you, just this red tide of dead animals. Every now and again one of them twitches as something from underneath is busy chewing on it. You can even see here and there the distended, bloated corpses of aquatic elves, merfolk, and what you thought was a shark is actually a sharkan. Just all bobbing and floating as this war canoe slowly pushes its way through these bodies. The stench starts to get worse as you get deeper into this floating graveyard. Luna?
From where we are, can we see, first of all, this is appalling, and it's like the sea has died, and Lahuna's dying inside. But also, can we see any symptoms of what they've died of, apart from death, which I know is very common around these parts?
Indeed. A quick glance at some of the corpses. There's the usual sea damage that you are fairly familiar with. It looks like they have suffered from deep slashing wounds, some of them. You can see great big, very clean cuts through the bodies. A definite unnatural death. Not mauled by the usual predators of the ocean, but killed by blade or harpoon, or this was something attacked these en masse. As you are surrounded by these things. Anyone doing anything else?
Looking at these, the wounds being made from a manufactured weapon, could Jaggerjaw use any kind of check to try and identify any sort of unique types of weapon injuries? Like, for example, Lahuna has her serrated megalodon sword. You know, the Sharkan have unique weapons. The Sea Elves would as well. Could I sort of narrow it down to maybe like it was a XX army of something, or?
Not a problem. That's what you're trying to do, Salt?
I think Salt is aware that humans are not very welcome on this ship, so he's keeping a very low profile, and it's just sort of wherever we've been sort of assigned to stay on the ship, he just kind of sits there, leaned against the railing, keeps very quiet and to himself. I think he would have like explained what happened to everyone in that mansion, but after that I think he's been very quiet. He just stays there, stays down.
Flick?
Flick would have been following the shaman around, trying to see if he had anything valuable on him for the entire journey. So I'm going to be next to the shaman as he's looking over these corpses. So I'm going to be sort of just like peering over, going,
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Lahuna?
Lahuna, if she doesn't see anyone who is alive that she can help, she's just praying. Calm in the storm. Calm in the storm.
I will say to the shaman though, I will say,
So, what killed them all?
Indigo?
Indigo moves slowly up to the prow of the ship and looks out over this and starts. It's somewhere in between muttering and just a keening sound, and she's probably speaking Elvish if anyone understands that. She's going. Ignores the rest around her, just completely grief-stricken by what she sees.
Alright, Jaggerjaw, would you please give me an investigate check? Flick, you can do the same thing. Investigate, if you please. Jaggerjaw, yeah. Your post-mortem, death. Definitely death. Flick, every now and again, the shaman has got all sorts of bones hanging from his extremities and from his arms and his torso, and he doesn't seem to mind you following him, and when you ask him the question, he turns and he looks at you, and then he looks at Salt.
It is the humans who have done this.
we speaking in Draconic?
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty bad. Hmm.
Exactly. So why the daughter of the Merfolkian diplomat seeks to protect this one is unsettling.
Well, yeah, he's not too bad. He smells, but he's all right. I don't really like a lot of humans, but he's all right.
Neither do we.
So, do you have a plan?
For what?
Because we had a plan.
What plan?
Well, we were going to use all those explosive fire crystals. You know, the ones you've got on board, the nice long boaty boat that you have. We were going to use them to blow everything up. So we were going to blow up the horrible, creepy statue, the horrible, creepy house, and the horrible, creepy... Blah, blah.
What statue?
Oh, I thought you would have known. There's a very creepy, horrible statue in Saltmarsh. We were going to blow it up.
Why?
Well, 1 second. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna run over to Indigo and ask to get the thing.
Scapula.
Oh, yes, little dragon. Here, take it.
Oh, thank you. I'll give it back.
And I'm gonna run back. And I'm gonna give it to the shaman saying,
Here,
Where
Look.
did you find this?
you'll have to ask her.
Basically puts his big green scaly hand on your face and pushes you aside in his eagerness to get to Indigo.
Okay, goodbye. Good chat.
This is yours, he says, holding up the scapula to you.
No, I've been loaned it
From whom?
from a keeper of a grove.
The Druids. That makes sense. Are you aware of what this is?
It allows me to truth see the things as they really are.
It is, and more.
He holds up one of the bones which you failed to sort of notice, Flick, and it is a second scapula.
It is part of a construct. That is why we were in Saltmarsh. We knew it to be somewhere on the coast and somewhere within the town. We were uncertain as to its whereabouts.
Well,
Since
now
this
you know.
is yours and we are no thieves, do I have your permission to use it?
If you tell me what you are going to use it for.
These combine together to make a powerful device of insight into the minds of those that would deceive us.
Go ahead. Use it as it was meant to be used.
He takes your scapula and he takes his scapula and he sort of puts the two of them together. And as the two pieces of bone touch, there's this brilliant flare of light. Luna, you hear this... Is it a change in the wind? Is it a soft hand upon your cheek of reassurance? Because when you open your eyes, there's no one around you who could possibly have done it. But it definitely feels as if someone gave you a very, very, very comforting touch. As soon as the flare is finished, the scapular apparatus, if you like, is complete. He holds it up to his face as a reverse mask and looks out over the water and immediately recoils.
For your use.
He says, holding this out to you, Indigo.
She bows as she takes it and then holds it up to her face.
Give me a Constitution saving throw, if you please.
Yeah, sure. Constitution. Ooh, I'm really bad at that.
She says, rolling a natural 20.
I need some luck.
You do need some luck.
Finally.
You look through, and for the briefest of moments, you are absolutely horrified by what you see. And a lesser person would have been completely overwhelmed by it. But you see a corpse of a merfolk in front of you, and there is, without a doubt, a human busy standing in front of this merfolk. The merfolk appears to be in chains on a wooden surface, and the human is just stabbing the merfolk repeatedly with a spear. Then as you sort of look elsewhere, there is a whale, and again there appear to be boats around this whale with humans with harpoons busy stabbing harpoons into this whale. It can't escape. You can see there's a rope tied around its tail to a bigger ship as these humans are just stabbing into this poor creature as it's dying. You can hear its death song as it's calling out to the rest of the pod for safety, for help, for any kind of relief from this incredible pain. And as you look around, you're just seeing how each and every single one of these creatures died. Give me a perception check, however, please.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's just too horrific. There is just it, and the sound starts to build as this wall of screaming merfolk and Shakan being just slaughtered. Whales, dolphins en masse. It just becomes too overwhelming after a while, and you have to take the mask away. The moment you take the mask away, the echoes of death still linger before eventually fading into the ocean's background.
This is how they did it. They sacrificed them. All of them. Hundreds of lives, and they drained them, and I think this is how they called it up from the deep.
And you still think we should have one aboard?
He says, looking over at Salt.
Indigo very slowly turns to him. I did not see him among the murderers. Essin, sorry, she uses a different pronoun for Salt.
Yes, Luna.
Lahuna, meanwhile, has just had a bit of a flashback while this has been going on, and she runs to the shaman
Right.
and puts her hand heavily on his shoulder and said, "What did you do?"
I did nothing.
The light. What did you do? What was it?
I have simply fused together the components as provided by...
And he indicates Indigo.
Oh, Indigo. But what components? What was it? I have to know.
Our people call it the Kenta-A, an object of sacred value, long since forgotten. It allows for one to see beyond the veil of death.
But sacred to whom?
Most of our peoples on the Azure Sea will have stories of it.
But Elise, it's from Elise, right?
Its origins are unknown to me. You will have to speak to the Queen. It was she who dispatched us to find the components in the first place.
Lahuna's rubbing her wrists. And... Can I hold it?
He looks at you, Indigo. You still have it.
What it shows is terrible.
I have to hold it.
Hold it, but you should think. If you really want to look through it. Hand it over very carefully.
I take it like it's the holiest thing in the world. Does it feel like anything?
It's quite light, but you do notice it has inscriptions all over it. Indigo wasn't able to decipher them, but you can certainly give me a religion check.
My hands are shaking, but I try and see what it says.
The religious symbols on it appear to be from several different gods. Certainly Elise is present, as is Tandas, as is a few of the older, more obscure gods. Sai is there, Rowan is there. This is a very old relic.
Do I know what kind of species the scapula is from? Just curiosity.
The scapulas. Give me a nature check.
Yes, I shall do that thing.
You're not sure, but the scapulas, as you're holding them and you're sort of shaking, you drop it a little bit. Flick is standing right next to the shaman, and they kind of look like Flick-size scapulas. Can't hear you if you're talking.
That's because I had my hands between my face hole and the microphone. Sorry. Sorry, don't have a moment there. This is a sacred object. This is holy. I put it up to my face.
Constitution saving throw as you are bombarded with these horrific images of slaughter and death.
Hey, sorry. I balked. Let's try that again.
You're okay. Very shaken as you see this whole thing unfolding in front of you. Again, just humans slaughtering, killing, maiming, destroying. Give me a perception check.
Lahuna is definitely still shaking.
Ooh!
These things must have mean eyes.
As you are looking at this horror unfolding in front of you.
That's performance.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What's your perception?
Oh no!
Let me try again. I'm sorry. They're named P and they're right next to each other. What is happening today?
Fantasy Grounds has spoken. Double 20 in a row.
I was about to go. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said anything.
Come on, Richard, this bad boy, and I'm happy.
Meant to be.
You are scrutinizing these individuals. There's something familiar about one of them is wearing a tabard, and there's a symbol on that tabard. You vaguely recall seeing it, but when did you see it? It was when you were walking from the empty nest back towards towards Gellen's estate. It wasn't Gellen's individuals who were wearing that tabard. It was someone else who was walking past you, some arrogant individual. That's all you recall. It was definitely someone heading towards the center of town. You saw that sigil on their chest. It looks like two anchors crossed in front of each other with, is it a dragon encircling them? Some kind of scaled lizard of some sort. But that's what you recall seeing in the street outside of Gellen's estate.
Lahuna hands the very sacred object to Indigo. Her knees buckle and she falls to the deck of the ship and she draws out on the ship the shape of this thing and she says, "This. I saw it in Saltmarsh. What is it?"
Jagsy, what are you doing while all this is going on?
Seeing the very intense scene between the Indigo, Lahuna, and the shaman, he takes stock of the death that's in the water and the fact that they're very, very sure that the humans are responsible for this. Jagsy's going to move over and simply sit very quietly next to Victor. He's just going to sort of use his imposing mass to sort of not sort of scare off any of the lizard folk that try to get nearby, but just sort of make sure that no one tries to do anything while people's eyes are turned away.
Gotcha. As you take a seat, you notice that of the rowers, and there are 30 of them, 15 have stopped because they don't need all of the oars in the water. A few of them have been eyeing Salt, and when you sit down next to Salt, they look at you, they look back at Salt, and then most of them shrug and just look back to the shaman and the mess that's happening up front. Salt, what are you doing?
Salt was sort of sitting, just head down on his knees, but he looks up as Jagjaw comes on. He sort of nods at him. "You all right?"
Captain, how about you? Took you a while to put that armor on.
I think
Seems like you put up a fight, eh?
if these people want me dead, then no armor is going to help me.
Well, that's what you got us for, Captain. All of us.
Yeah, well, look, I know I've been through this before, but if it's a case of them really, really wanting to eat me, you have my permission to just let them.
Oh,
I'm not
no.
feeling particularly valuable
Look,
after that whole part in the caves.
Look, Captain, I'm not one person to beat around the bush, but I will tell you without a shred of doubt in my soul, I am not going to let anyone else eat you.
Jagsy, if I die and you got my body around, I would want you to be the one to eat me. Sort of pat him on the arm.
Jagsy nods.
You're a good bosun, Jaggerjaw. And you're a good officer. And you're a good kid.
Jaggerjaw tries to not show emotions, which isn't hard for a person with no lips.
Not for a shark.
Flick.
Do I notice the rowers looking at the captain?
It's not difficult to spot them, absolutely.
Where are the gnomish fire crystals?
Currently, they are running the entire length of the
Flick,
ship.
no.
All 100 foot of it, 90 foot of it, sorry.
What the flick?
I'm gonna go over and sit on top of one of the barrels.
Sure. No one pays you any attention whatsoever.
Okay.
I pay attention.
How hard are they to open?
The barrels? Well, you need a hammer and a chisel to pop in underneath the lid and flick it out. But not terribly difficult.
Small holes or anything?
I beg your pardon?
Any small holes?
No. No.
The gypsy said this is how he died.
This is plan 4 in action.
It's Flick the curse at this point.
I'm going to just very slowly start to try and jimmy it open. Just pay me no mind. That's what Flick's doing.
Give me a stealth check. Our roguish wizard.
Agent of Chaos.
Goddamn.
Nobody notices as this little kobold has Jack and is busy wrenching open the barrel whilst singing "Hey Macarena." Yeah. Nobody notices you because they're either looking at Salt or they're looking at this drawing that Luhuna has made. Luhuna, what did you make it out of? Did you sort of?
Oh, I just sketched it. It's not a real drawing. I sketched it with my hand. I was like, this thing, arrow.
A circle?
What?
Is it a
A
tree?
bubble?
Okay, I have to get back in the moment because Flick is hilarious, and I'm supposed to be having like a weeping fit. So
I need you to give me a performance check, Lahuna, and Indigo. You can give me an insight check, please, to interpret this dance of
Showing
Lahuna.
us the symbol using interpretive dance. This is what we're doing.
I'm sobbing a lot. It's not going well.
Karaoke is your thing. Performing
Yeah.
arts through body is your body is not your tool.
I'm a pun bard. I don't do drawing.
Yeah,
So
Indigo, you
Lahuna
have
is like,
no.
it's like this. It looks like this, and she's like pointing weirdly on the deck, erratically and sobbing.
It looks like a very sad mermaid.
It's got arrows in it. Okay, it's got like a circle. And
A round mermaid with arrows in it. I don't understand.
why don't you understand me?
The scaled hand reaches out with this lump of black coal. Draw on the deck.
Okay. I nod like this. I draw out the thing. Do you want me to do another performance check now? I have
No,
tools.
it's okay.
Smudged with
You're
years.
drawing a circle with 2 crossed arrows in it. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
Indigo,
the
the
best
moment.
representation I can manage.
Yeah. It's not tough whatsoever. Indigo, the moment that is completed, you realize you've seen that symbol before. It was on the breast pocket of a certain gentleman who reached into his coat to retrieve a small urchin's quill.
Oh. I should have killed him.
You recognize the symbol?
I have met someone in this dwelling called Saltmarsh. He tried to poison me.
A human.
A human. And then he had the audacity to lie about trying to poison me. Like, I would not recognize the sleeping... She says something in Elvish and then she tries to... the spiny wanderer underneath.
Ah, yes. The sleep bringer.
Yes.
This
He
is it.
looks again back at Salt. And then he looks at you, Indigo. Are you sure?
That I saw a human with this
That
mark.
one is no less duplicitous than the rest of their race.
Yes,
one?
I am sure. If anything, Essen is a little bit too open. And a little bit too honest about the maudlin thoughts inside Essen's head.
Laguna takes the charcoal and says, that one is my friend. And that one worships, and I draw out the sign for Halvo on the deck.
One of the.
One of the signs for Halvo. The splashiest sign for Halvo. Much splashing.
The lizardiest they've got.
Yes.
We shall see. Our queen shall decide. Let us pass through this dark space as quick as we can. It is not the first tide of death we have seen, nor shall it be the last, I'm sure.
No, it shall be the last.
We'll make it the
I
last.
make sure of it.
Flick. There's this faint green glow from this collection of very, very bright crystals.
How big are they?
They seem to vary in size from about that big. Some of them are a little bit bigger, but they would fit in your hand quite nicely.
I'm gonna try and find the smallest one.
You realize that they kind of jelly-like as you touch them.
Perfect.
They're still crystalline in shape, but they definitely, as you pick it up, it's like holding a water balloon.
Sure. So, during my long rest, I would have cast Find Familiar, and Pinky would have come back to life. So, I'm
Pinky
gonna
has returned to life, yes.
Pinky out of my own pocket.
Yeah, zombie octopus.
I want you to keep this safe and swallow it because we may need it later. Hopefully, you're okay with this.
I can talk to Pinky telepathically, so I am actually talking to Pinky.
Pinky, for whatever reason, its little cephalopod brain has an attachment to you, and so its little beak opens as wide as it can.
Here's the albatross. Here's the albatross. Here we go. There you go. Good boy. Yeah.
I'm gonna quietly close the barrel of the lid.
Alright, so I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw because
Oh,
as
no.
Pinky's mouth clamps down on the crystal, it explodes.
Oh no, that familiar did not last long.
So
Flick didn't last long.
give me a dexterity saving throw. if
Had
you
more than one
please.
hit point Flick.
And he's also on the barrels, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no!
Sure,
And
but
around- oh, no, it's fine.
assumedly
That's not-
he's
that's
moved
not.
away a little bit. Just, yeah. It's not a huge explosion.
No,
It's just this is how these.
it's
things
contained
work.
by the squishiness.
It's contained mainly by the little octopod. Yes. There is this. And you're left holding half a crystal. You take 3 points of burn damage on your fingers. There ain't no Pinky.
He's got one tentacle.
And on that note, we'll return next week for more adventures from the circus. Known as the Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all my wonderful players for playing. We had some ups and downs there. Oh my goodness. Please let's not go through those death saving throws again. I can't take it. As the crew of the second chance, sail north towards Quelt Axe to go and meet the Queen of the Lizard Folk. Good news, players. Your characters get to level up. But before you celebrate, your characters get to level up to level 3.
Ooh.
Skip level 2, go straight to 3.
Yay!
You have accomplished much and have not had much opportunity. So
I
you
have
can level
stolen
up to level
many
3.
things.
We'll go through that after the show. For those of you watching the show, I want to say thank you all for being part of the stream. A couple of shout outs. Firstly, to my players, thank you for being wonderful and awesome and making us laugh all the way through, or me to figure out what to do. And to all of you for watching, participating, to our wonderful sponsors, World Anvil, worldanvil.com. Find all of the characters there. Some, I don't know if all of you are updating your character journals and things, but you can see character thoughts and things as they go along. So you can have a look at that. That's at World Anvil. You can also check out Dungeon Fog. They make all these wonderful maps, like the map that you can also find on our website for the treasure hunt. That's www.greatgamemaster.com. And then finally to Fantasy Grounds for giving us those amazing 1s and 20s and everything in between. From all of us, until next week, unless you're going to watch us in Below Decks straight after the show on my channel, twitch.tv/greatgm, I wish you all the happiest of gaming and may you have fair seas. Goodbye.
Goodbye.